Welcome to today's show, week in review for this week, starting Monday, December 21st, and ending yesterday on Christmas, December 25th. I'm your host, Sarah, out of Syracuse, New York. For today's topic, what was your favorite part of this week? For me, enjoying Christmas with some family yesterday.
Yeah, Christmas was great. Had a solid Christmas Eve, into Christmas Day, and played a show last night. Even it was cool.
I'm Brian from Portland, Oregon. My favorite part of this week has been not having to go to work.
Vacation, everyone's favorite part.
Yes.
All right, so we'll move right into Monday Night Raw. One of the big, not necessarily big highlights, but maybe small highlights. Angel Garza returning back to action this week, defeating Drew Gulak. Are you guys glad to see Angel Garza back?
Totally. I'm happy to see him in a match with Drew Gulak. Two awesome wrestlers, awesome workers. I don't know why he had to go away in the first place, but glad he's back.
I believe he had a hip injury.
Oh, he was
still stemming from there. And then I think they were kind of repackaging him because they're breaking up Andrade and them. So it's just kind of perfect timing as far as them taking a break. And who do you think he's giving the rose to? Do you think it's going to be somebody, or do you think just part of his promo package?
I think he's going to run through the entire roster until someone actually is decently interested. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll start giving them to the boys. We'll see.
Maybe. I'm actually thinking that if Eva Marie does come back, this is going to be a perfect segment for her.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Just because Orlando, who puts everything together, who is quite a genius when it comes to this, every time that he puts a rose out on TV, Eva Marie's posts a picture with a rose or something like a bed of roses or something.
Ooh.
Could it just be coincidence? Probably. But it's
this is wrestling. There are no coincidences.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to have him come back. I think he's an awesome wrestler. I think that Drew is also amazing at what he does. So I'm glad to have him back as well. Not that he left; he just hasn't been on TV.
Well, it's good to see him again. That's
yeah,
for sure. What else do we have here? T-Bar got a win.
Yes, T-Bar wrestling and getting a win.
What is this storyline, first of all? Let's put everything that we think about Retribution aside for a second. He wins one match, he loses another, and now T-Bar is winning against Ricochet. What are we doing to Ricochet and why?
Just beating him down until he joins the Hurt Business.
Maybe.
I mean, Retribution, not Hurt Business.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm all for if you want to put Ali and Ricochet in a tag team together, I think that sounds great. But and if we have to have this fucking storyline, then fine. Let's do something with it. Let's at least get some decent matches out of it. Can they ditch the masks though? At some point, when are we taking off the masks? They're not helping anybody. They got to be bulky and hard to see around. What the hell?
That is so true. There's nothing that we can even say about it that they're not just the masks are ridiculous.
I need some bro nuts this morning, I tell you what.
Speaking of, we had the Hurt Business going up against the tag team of Jeff Hardy and Matt Riddle. I definitely like Hardy and Riddle as a tag team. They work well together.
I love it, and it provided so many memes for the week. My favorite one that I saw was I got high just looking at.
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention. That's too funny. The Hardy Bros. I'm all about it. Yeah. It's very cool. Good tag team. A little tired of seeing Jeff Hardy getting put in the full Nelson though. We get it.
Yes. New women's tag team champions Asuka and Charlotte Flair going against Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce.
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm so excited to have Charlotte back.
Why?
Honestly, I didn't know how much the women's division was suffering until she came back, and I was like, "Oh, I'm actually kind of excited to see what's happening on Raw." I think she's going to add a lot of drama. I think she's going to add a lot of different aspects to it. I don't think she's ever going to be able to do a moonsault properly, but other than that, I'm super excited to have her back.
She did a pretty good one on the pay-per-view, didn't she?
Mm-mm. That was a back flying out. That was a somersault elbow.
Oh man. I think it's good to have her there. I'm personally more excited to see Peyton Royce. Just I want the Iconics back. I want my tag team back. I want my goofy girls back in the same place at the same time, being awesome, ridiculous, obnoxious heels together. And I don't like seeing Peyton Royce have to take pins, but this is fine. I like Charlotte being back, and you're right. The women's division definitely needs that kind of star power because we were talking about it in the past. Nobody's ready for Asuka. Like literally, there's nobody to take on Asuka that anybody would think is even halfway believable. So I'm glad she's back. It's cool.
Also, on top of that, I hope that she doesn't take the belt from Asuka. She will, but I hope to really solidify Asuka as the champion. I think she needs to pin Charlotte.
And that was her first loss ever, right?
Yeah,
against Charlotte. Yeah, she's. Let's do some long-term 50-50 booking since we're all into 50-50 booking. Let's make it long-term. Let's give Asuka a win.
Yeah.
Then we had the holiday street fight in the main event. But to me, the most interesting to come out of that was Miz bringing up the point that he never cashed in the Money in the Bank. Morrison cashed in for him. So now he's fighting to get the Money in the Briefcase back. What do you guys think of this possible angle of him getting the briefcase back?
I think it's good, obnoxious heel work for what it is. Not to, I've been overly critical of the Miz and everything, but that is, somewhat, kind of clever. You can't keep that storyline going and everything. Maybe you could also say that you find some other loophole in the contract and then Otis gets the briefcase back, which won't happen, but you could do that if you wanted to. It's whatever, all this stuff with Miz and Morrison. I'm super over it, but this is not by far the most egregiously stupid thing that they've done.
I actually like it. I think he's actually going to get it back, and I think that he actually may take the belt from Drew if he ends up getting back the Money in the Bank.
Can we talk about why we're adhering to tag rules in a street fight?
I didn't even pay attention.
What the hell was it? I mean, it was a tag match until the very end. It was a street fight for 2 minutes.
Yeah. It was. I thought the same thing. Wait, why are they tagging me on a street fight? I mean, it's obviously some of its qualifications, but somebody didn't think that part through.
I think it was what's his name? Brian Alvarez was like, this was the most polite street fight I've ever seen in my life. It's pretty accurate, Brian.
All right. So how would you guys rate this show?
Serviceable.
3.
3's pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree. 3.
It was not as bad as last week.
No.
Or the week before that.
All right. Moving on to AEW. Brian, you want to take a word for this one?
No, I do not.
Or anybody wants to? I missed both Wednesday night shows this week.
No, I had to pull it up because I had to think of what was happening, which kind of says a couple of things. So the first start was Top Flight versus Chris Jericho and MJF. Top Flight is probably my favorite tag team right now. They're absolutely amazing at what they do. And they're 21 and 19. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine having that type of ring presence at that age? I don't know. There's actually quite a few matches that I could think of, but Top Flight, the opener was definitely good. The main event was the Acclaim versus the Young Bucks for the AEW Championship, which was pretty solid. I I mean, naturally, it's the Young Bucks. I think they can make anything work. But the Acclaim is not to put lightly either. We also saw Sheeta go up against Alex Garcia. A hell of a match. I really enjoying that they're starting to push Sheeta a little bit more. I think she has so much talent, and I don't think that we've even touched the surface of what we have for her.
Yeah, this is all great. Excellent.
Also, congrats to Alex Gracia for, I believe she did get that AEW contract finally.
Yes,
she did.
Yes,
she did. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good for her. Very cool.
She is officially elite.
Yes,
that's great. Yeah, I thought this match was cool. Awesome heel work with MJF and Jericho. I am pretty interested to see how long the Inner Circle is going to stay together. And we did see Hager challenge Wardlow to a match, which I'm going to be upset if Jake Hager wins, but I feel like somehow he will through some means of shenanigans or whatnot. I like Wardlow a lot. I want to see him do more.
Yeah, I think he wasn't on the show because he had some personal issues that he was really attending to. I don't know anything more about it. But yeah, I agree. I saw Dallas say something about the Acclaimed is future. I 100% agree with him. And again, I'm going to put over Top Flight of almost possibly, if they keep this momentum, they could literally be tag team of the year.
Yeah, I think they're great. They're definitely going to be probably the best young tag team of next year, all across the brands. More than likely, they're fantastic. Not to slight the Acclaimed or anything like that, which we'll get to in a little bit, I'm sure. But I think they are going to do fantastic, wonderful things. And don't forget, we also saw MJF make friends with Santana, and they addressed the issues that Santana has been having, which, we got your back, Santana. We love you. So maybe that will come into play next week during the Wardlow match.
I did find it a little weird that they used that in a storyline a little bit or on camera. I don't know. It seemed a little weird to me, but also I think it was AEW's way of being like, hey, we got your back kind of thing. But it definitely almost came off as your WWE type thing. We're going to take what's happening in your personal life and put it on camera.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Tony Khan didn't have that in mind. He was really just doing it to support. But I don't know. Kind of came off a little bit cringeworthy.
It's a little kitsch. But I think it's weird to do it because you have that going on with two people in the same stable also.
Yeah.
And you make it into two different storylines. You've got one of them, calling somebody out saying, where you been? And then on the other hand, you're also going to say like, hey man, we're real sorry about, what happened, which should honestly be the case for both of them. So, but AEW is good at long-term story booking, even if it's only 2 weeks of a story. So I'm sure that there's a reason for it. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about that either. It was very Sheamus and Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
What's next? Let's see here. Tony Schiavone and Sting.
I like that interview. I love that. I've never been a Sting fan. I mean, I've been pretty vocal in the past about it. But I'm really interested to see him and Darby Allin's relationship because I'm wondering if it's going to lead to a tag team match.
So it has been confirmed. I think Dirt Sheet Radio reported this, that there is going to be a cinematic match with Sting. And since we've been seeing all of those commercials that Darby Allin has been in, he produces all of those. So I think that we're going to get a black and white Darby Allin produced Sting cinematic match, which would be freaking cool. I know you don't like the cinematic matches, but this one might do it for you.
But I'd rather have Sting in a cinematic match than a regular match.
I agree.
From one interview I saw, I believe it was actually on AW's Unrestricted podcast, where they talk about Tony Khan pitch cinematic matches for Sting to come back. So I would only imagine that Sting's going to be doing cinematic matches, or at least the majority of them will be.
I mean, between Darby, Matt Hardy, and Sting, there's going to be an interesting cinematic match to come out of all this, and I am totally here for it.
For our award show, did we even mention Matt Hardy's cinematic match with Sammy?
I don't think it got nominated because it was so late. I thought it was pretty good, but
Because
maybe
honestly, I think that was my favorite one out of all of them.
I think it was discussed, but didn't make the final nominations.
That makes sense.
we should have had a write-in option. It's okay.
No,
No.
right?
No, don't put that evil on me. Oh, it's funny. Taz came out and basically said this is ridiculous. We're gonna kick your ass. Lights go out. Darby shows up in the ring, and Taz is like, "Okay, you with the baseball bat, you with the skateboard. We're not coming in there now, but we're gonna get you eventually." Which was like a little hokey, but it was cool. I love Taz, and he's doing a great job getting his people over. And I'm into all this. I'm into some Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks action again. However you want to mix this up in this group, I think you're going to get maybe some more people to back up Sting and Darby, and we'll probably see some kind of a trios match eventually.
I have a question. Do you guys? I have a hard time. I don't like that Taz is doing commentary on Dark and then playing such a heel on Network or on AEW Dynamite. It seems to take away. I don't know if they should do both.
Sarah, what do you think?
I think if he played up the heel aspect more on Dark, then it would work. But who do you have replace Taz then as commentator?
I don't. I love Taz as commentator. I just don't know if he's the perfect person. But he is, because he's obviously getting his guys over. I don't know.
I considered letting it bother me, I think. But did I realize how good he is from transitioning back and forth? Like it's not like, all of a sudden he's, evil promo Taz. He kind of always, keeps it up a little bit. So it doesn't bother me as much, but I did have that thought previously. Why are we agreeing so much today? It's the Christmas spirit.
Give it time.
Yeah, give it time. Just wait.
It's my new ring light. I can't actually see anything, so I just have to. It's so bright. I just have to look and hope that I'm looking at the right area.
Well, you look great.
Well, thank you.
Fantastic ring light. Good selection.
You can actually see the ring light on your TV, the reflection of it.
Mm-hmm.
The more I think about it, this episode of Dynamite was sneakily better than I remember.
It was actually a really good Dynamite. Probably one of the better ones that I've seen in the last couple of weeks.
Dark Order versus Jurassic Express. Go over that real quick. Jurassic Express gets the win. And then FTR shows up, cuts a promo. Tully Blanchard is I want him to be my evil uncle that hides bodies for me. He's amazing. Everything that he says is I believe it. He pissed off Marco Stunt, said he was gonna have a flashback to the 80s, and Marco was like, let me at him, like, trying to run towards the video monitor. Hey, that was Marco Stunt looking as ferocious as he possibly could.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's enough of that. But that'll be cool. I mean, I'm all about some Jurassic Express versus FTR. I think that'll be great.
Dallas. Okay. It's not putting over anybody. I hold all companies to the same standard. Period.
We got Pac versus Butcher. That was pretty cool.
No, I'm over that one.
You don't like it?
I don't know. I mean, it was a good match, but there's just something about it that I'm just not into.
I thought it was cool to see the Butcher in a singles match. We don't get to see that very often.
I think it's that I don't like Pac. I know. I don't know yet. And I even question myself. I'm like, why? What is it about him that I just don't like? I don't know.
I mean, he's what can I say? He's the bastard. Like, you're not supposed to like him. But I mean, there's a difference in I don't like him because I'm because I'm supposed to not like him, and then there's just like I don't need this in my life. So
Yeah, that's how I feel about Kenny Omega. I don't need that in my life.
oh my god. What about that promo this week? They were in the lobby of the hotel. I thought that like so far it was the best that we'd seen Kenny on the mic for this whole thing.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it was what it was.
Jeez, Dallas. Let's see here. Let's go. We'll round out Dynamite because I want to talk about everything that happens at Dynamite. We saw Abaddon attack Carlos Shida. We're getting Kip and Penelope's wedding. Here in the very near future, I think in February. And then we had Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed. It's a pretty good match. There's something about the Acclaimed that bugs me, but I think it's just
okay. So I have that same thing too. For me, what it is that I don't know if they were a tag team before, but it seems like they're being forced to be a tag team, and the chemistry with the two seems a little off. I don't know if it's that they just, I don't know. To me, it just seems a little off, but I don't know.
Yeah, in terms of the new tag teams, like Top Flight definitely seem very natural together. They seem like they've worked together a lot. They communicate well together, and I'm not saying that they don't, and I'm not even really talking about the rapping gimmick because that's just fun. You can either take it or leave it, but it is interesting to bring both of those tag teams in at the same time, and you kind of naturally are going to compare them to one another. But hey, I love having awesome new young tag teams in AEW or anywhere in wrestling for that matter. So that's solid. I thought it was a solid show. I gave it a 4.
I'd give it a 4 too. I think that's a great number. Sarah didn't see it, so.
Actually, I only saw the Jericho or the first tag team match, and that was it. But
we move on.
Based off that, it was a good show.
Right? Oh, NXT, where are we at? Killian Dane, Drake Maverick did not win the tag team championships.
They didn't, but that was an awesome match, though.
It was a cool match. I think it was the best we've seen of Killian Dane here in a minute.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you guys saw, but when Maverick got the belt, he was whipping. I don't remember who it was. I don't even remember, but he hit him with the belt like it was supposed to go across the chest, but it ended up hitting him in the face.
Oh, you heard about that one later.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and then like his face, Maverick's face was just like furious. I'm wondering if like the other guy was a little too stiff and that was just payback. I don't know.
And what else is here? Oh yeah, everyone came out to wait. Was this last week? This is last week. Let me pull this up. I pulled up the wrong results.
The only other the only other match that I really got to see was the Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley. I mean, anytime Rhea's in the ring, it's going to be a show, and they delivered.
Yep. Yeah, it was a cool match. We saw Raquel at the end, I believe.
Yep.
I think they're building her well. They're building that feud well. Nothing wrong with any of that. Let's talk about the Johnny Gargano segments and how fantastically stupid they were, because I think this is probably my favorite thing I've seen out of their family thing. I thought it was a lot of fun, and Austin Theory is a total goof, and he is cool, and I'm glad he has something to do.
Austin Theory just seems like he's, I don't know. I like it though. I like the gimmick that he's playing. I'm hoping it's playing.
I don't know if they'll do this. I don't see, as much as I don't think that this fits into NXT, I can totally see this on Raw or SmackDown, and Vince just absolutely loving it. So I think we might get more super silly stuff out of it, because I don't know if Vince is gonna see Johnny Gargano the same way that we do. I know we think he can be an awesome baby face pretty much because he is, and he's an amazing wrestler. But they're trying him out as a heel. He's done everything else that there is to do in NXT. So, I'm here for it. They're trying stuff out. Swerve Scott got his win back against Jake Atlas.
So I do want to kind of go back to Johnny Gargano's. He, for me, is one of the ones that you take their personalized, because we have Twitter, we have Instagram and everything else, right? And sometimes they say things that totally can ruin a character or a wrestler for me. And unfortunately, he is one of those ones that said something a while ago, and I don't look at him the same way. So as far as I'm concerned, he could be released.
Damn. What's up with us falling in love with characters from NXT and then all of a sudden finding out things about their personal lives that turn us off? Not to name any names, but
because there's a few.
There's a couple, and it seems to be happening quite regularly.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but maybe we can chalk up the things that he said in the past to just being a dumb young kid. But some things are not.
I am 100% about saying something when they were young and dumb, but using that same platform to apologize, I think is very important. But the fact is, he didn't.
It's true.
So.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to that, so a lot of the wrestlers from NXT kind of take a let's wait and see if this goes away kind of approach and be like, okay, well, we did some investigation and everything's okay. So that's not how that works. You don't just get to decide what everyone feels about that situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to fun stuff. What else happened?
So,
Is that all that happened?
We had going back to the Isaiah Swerve Scott over Jake Atlas. Certainly, they got to have a rubber match. Make it a best of 3. So they've each got one over each other now.
Right. So that'll lead to something. Maybe in 2 more weeks or something like that. I mean, they're awesome wrestlers, so I've got no problem with all that. So we saw a new look from Toni Storm this week. Changed up her hat and gear situation a little bit. She just wants to challenge Io for the women's title. Yeah, look at that hat! Wow. I mean, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like Toni Storm. Some people don't. It's okay.
We have Bronson Reed coming back as well.
Yeah, Bronson Reed's back. That was, I really want wrestling to drop this person is going to be in action tonight. Like, this person is going to destroy someone tonight. Like, it's what it is always. But it's cool. It's nice to see him back. Keep clicking through all these results. Oh yeah, Thatcher versus Leon Ruff. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tommaso Ciampa came back and got involved, so they're clearly not done there. We lost Brian. That's okay. So yeah, Leon Ruff wins that match. I love Leon Ruff. He just always finds a way.
We also had Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So that was the main event, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. Man, I'm into it. Speaking of wrestlers that do weird things in their personal life that turns us off on when it comes to on screen, but I do enjoy Dream working as a heel. I think he's doing a very good job with that. He has definitely lost a lot of his spark ever since that whole incident happened. But this was a fine match. I thought it was okay. I would have been really surprised if the Dream had won. So I guess I'm glad that Adam Cole won. Are we getting Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne next week? I think that's really cool. And a fight pit, Ciampa versus Thatcher. So I think next week's NXT is going to be banging.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see how the two go head to head as far as ratings, because there's 2 big bangers on both episodes.
I have to give this episode a 4 because I don't think it was better than Dynamite or worse. I think they were both good, solid episodes. And we got Bronson Reed back, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't rate this episode because I didn't watch it in its entirety. I only saw like a couple of matches here and there. But from what I saw, it was an outstanding show.
And going to Dallas's comment, Bronson Reed did announce his entrance into the 2020 Royal Rumble.
Nice.
Very cool. I didn't say, I forgot that. So did Daniel Bryan last night.
Yeah, he
So
did.
that's 2 so far out of the 30.
Daniel Bryan, like, full on yesed out last night.
Yes.
100%.
He did recently announce though that he is his contract is up soon.
Yeah, he's going part-time. He wants to be a full-time daddy.
I wonder if he really wants to, or Bree's like 2 kids are too much. You need to come home more.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know, Sarah. What do you think?
I mean, it's always a possibility that it's a ploy for more money, or they say he just wants to not work the weekly shows as much.
Yeah.
I think we are hearing that he has more of a creative role now than he used to. So maybe he wants to also focus more on that, which God knows we could use somebody with a mind like his focusing more on the storylines for WWE, and somebody that, Bruce and Vince are going to listen to. Because, like, as much as they didn't want to like Daniel Bryan, you got to love him. I mean, how do you not love that guy? He did full on yes out last night. It was very cool. I enjoyed that match very much, and I think he'll be one of the final 4 in the Royal Rumble.
Ooh. I would like to see him win.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with him winning. That'd be fine. If you want to get some Daniel, I mean, that has to be what it is. Like, if he's going on like full on yes movement, make him super babyface, put him against Roman for the title, WrestleMania. Yes, I'm cool with that. He could even lose, and I would be cool with it. But it would be a good program because Daniel Bryan's freaking genius.
Not to mention, when Daniel Bryan was injured, was working on some of the backstage stuff as producer. He's the reason some of the younger talent or underutilized talent got pushes, like Lucha House Party, and he's one that advocated for them to start getting more roles on TV.
Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
Yeah, him too.
What's next? Oh, we had the Roman Reigns versus Owens cage match.
That was such a good match. I hated the way it ended. But
Same.
I'm supposed to hate it though.
Yeah, you knew what was going to happen. We all knew what was coming, but they certainly made you forget about it for a second.
I actually thought that maybe he would win.
I mean, that's, they did their job. I mean, I definitely did. I was, sitting there thinking, like, is this our Christmas present? Is Kevin Owens like Universal Champion?
Yeah.
Like, is this our present from Vince?
Nope.
No, but we did get one later.
I just hate it because it feels like, you're supposed to have unstoppable Roman Reigns, and then now it feels more like, well, he can't win without Jey Uso. So it's kind of diminished the character a little bit of the big Roman Reigns.
Who lost a match this week, which I felt interesting. Well, lost to Daniel Bryan. So that was a good match too, by the way. Jey Uso, where you been all my life? I mean, I know you've always been an awesome tag team wrestler, but this is great.
Wait, where's Jimmy though? What happened to him?
He's injured. He's injured. But I mean,
I'm wondering if they punish him because he got that DUI earlier.
I think they were for a while, and I think that's what affected Naomi as well, because she was with them at the time. So yeah, I think they're probably over that, because in my mind, Vince would punish both of the Usos if he was going to punish one of them, even if the other one didn't do anything. So he's clearly over that now, because he's part of this whole storyline with Roman, which, I mean, I would have to think that eventually Jimmy will show up, and then we're going to have Uso versus Uso, which is going to be freaking awesome. And that'll go for a while, and then eventually they'll finally form the family.
So
possibility.
Latest injury update I'm seeing is that Jimmy will be back January or February.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
January 31st. I cannot wait for the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
It's 35 days away.
Wait, 31st it's on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Stupid
I
31
believe
day
it was
months making me wait longer.
I believe it was originally actually supposed to be earlier, but they pushed it back a couple weeks, hoping to get some fans in Tropicana Field.
I was surprised that it was so late in the month.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they pushed it back, hoping that the crowds would be open by then.
Ooh, Dallas.
Interesting tidbit. What if Jimmy wins the Rumble and faces Roman at WrestleMania?
Be cool. I think I'd rather see Daniel Bryan do it, especially if he's not going to be with us as much. Coming up in the future, I think you've got a few more really great main events that you can get out of him. But I won't be upset about it.
So we also had the triple threat elimination tag team match. Charlotte and Asuka versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair versus Carmella and Bayley.
I liked it. I was like, but I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was. I thought it was weird that they didn't have the Riot Squad in that match, considering the actual only tag team. Mm-hmm. But they did give them a little shout out. Watch them from the sidelines. I just don't know what they're going to do with them. Because they're kind of the only actual tag team.
I thought it was cool that I thought this was all pretty cool. I love Bayley. I think that her coming out on the mic was just perfect. She's so fluid, and I think it's so cool now that you because her transition into her new character was a little rough. Like you didn't quite, but they built it over time, and she has really found that role very well. I still miss the Bayley buddies, but I think she's just doing super top notch work. That she'll obviously do whatever they ask her to. She had a great run with the belt. I'm down to see her do more. And kind of a cool tag team with Carmella. I don't hate it.
I didn't dislike it. The one thing I did notice that she dyed her hair a little darker and it looked really nice. Good job, Bayley.
Good job, Bayley.
Other than that, I liked the match. There was times when I was like, wait, are they actually going to lose the belt? So I don't know. It was a good match start to end. Sasha, of course, was top notch. What are you guys laughing at?
We're laughing at Dallas. He's just on fire today. We just need to put you. I would just put Dallas on the screen, but then we'd have nobody in the comments to laugh at. Oh man, yeah, this was cool.
Yeah,
and then we got our big Christmas present.
And of course, I fell asleep right at the beginning of the match. Damn it!
You did?
I did. I missed the whole. I saw the whole show except for Big E versus Sami Zayn.
Well, it was quite entertaining. Sammy did everything he could to escape the match on multiple occasions, and even almost ran back until the entire Lumberjack team came and drug him back and threw him in the ring. Yeah. I love Sami Zayn.
I love Sami Zayn. I was a little sad that he lost the belt, but it makes total sense because he couldn't do it naturally, of course, but it was a good match. It was a good main event for sure.
And it still technically makes Sammy look strong. Like since it took that many people to make sure that he didn't that he lost the match. I love Sami Zayn. I love him. I love this version of his character, and he basically gets to come out, with long hair, long beard, be himself, just be a complete jackass. It seems that he definitely gets, the past to be himself, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Yeah,
I would rate this. Are we doing that yet? Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, go for it. We got all the matches in.
I would actually rate this one a 4.25.
I don't think I'm going to stick with 4 because I think everything was like super high quality this week, except for Raw. And I would have to put all 3 of those right next to each other: Dynamite, NXT, SmackDown. None of them was better than the other one, I think, but they were all really good. And thank you for all the Christmas week wrestling, y'all. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. It's hard to get some people to do anything even like 2 weeks before Christmas, and you gave us all this entertainment, and I appreciate it.
I think for me, the reason that SmackDown was a little bit, because I felt like it was better than a lot of the SmackDown shows recently, because it was mostly action driven versus promo after promo. So for me, I'm going to give it a 4.25 because it's more my taste.
I dig it.
I also will give it a 4. I was a little tired, so I don't think I got to enjoy it as much as possible. But to me, it was still a pretty good show. And I did see one report. I don't know how accurate it was because of the source. But I would say they did report that SmackDown drew at one point a 3.0 or 3.1.
Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's solid for all the ratings woes that we've heard about the WWE recently. That's nice.
Yes.
Who was your source?
It was just some person posting in one of the groups.
Oh, I thought nothing.
However accurate that is.
So before we shut down today's episode, I know Daniel touched on, Daniel Bryan wanting to be in the Final Four. Who do you guys think should be the Final Four of this year's Royal Rumble? Or who do you want to see in the Final Four?
I don't know. I can't even think of who would even be in it. I'm sure that Randy Orton will be in it. I think we're gonna get Edge to return.
That's what I was thinking too.
Who else is out with injury?
As far as males,
Yeah,
Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso may be another one, and maybe Taker. No,
Oh my God, please don't.
no.
So I think you could see the Final Four. Here's what I'd like to see. Big E, Daniel Bryan, Matt Riddle, and I think they'll throw a curveball in coming back out of nowhere, Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see it, but I think it's a possibility.
We're either getting Goldberg or Brock Lesnar. It's gonna happen. Because I know Vince is in fucking full on panic mode right now. But the thing is, like, if you want more adult content, like neither one of those guys really are adult content per se, because they always either have mouthpieces or it's just Goldberg saying, "I'm gonna kill everyone with my beard." So, I don't know. If I had things my way, I'd actually like to see Roman in the Final Four. Just so, like, for half a second, you think that there's a chance that he is going to actually wreck everyone and leave, which is a perfect phrase to have if you're going into a Royal Rumble. I want to see.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I want to see Keith Lee there. I think that would be great. I'd love to see Matt Riddle there. Love to see Ricochet there, but it's never going to happen. I'm going to go Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Roman, and either Edge, Brock Lesnar, or Goldberg. Final answer.
I don't know. That one's a hard one. I'm just gonna stick with what
What are we looking forward to next year in wrestling?
Fans, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's the number one thing, isn't it?
Who knew that we would be so missing the fans as much? Like, who knew that they played such an integral part of the show?
It totally makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me because I thought about this last night. WWE has had a very long head start in terms of doing shows with a smaller audience because of NXT and Full Sail. So it kind of surprised me that it took them so long to figure that formula out, and it was seemingly so easy for AEW. And I know that they have the advantage of having an outdoor venue when it comes to dealing with an airborne virus. But I think that they've got it down now. I'm still tired of the pumped in crowd noise. It's just too loud, although it has finally been brought down a little bit. It's like, y'all, it doesn't sound that loud on the shows usually. Stop cranking the damn volume. I want to hear what these people are saying.
Actually, I think since I went into the Thunderdome, it's been a lot better for me. I actually don't miss the live crowds at all. with it because it gives me the same type of pleasure. Because for me, like that sound noise has always been background noise for me. So it gives me that illusion that it's still just as like a normal one until I watch like you know, an old pay-per-view or something. Then I'm like, oh.
Have you guys, either of you guys, been inside the Thunderdome, like part of the Thunderdome audience?
Mm-mm.
No.
I did it for, I think it was Payback. I was part of that for about 2 minutes. My internet was really laggy at that point, so it wasn't really enjoyable, but it was quite the experience.
I'm sure that there's people that are really super digging it. You know, they obviously don't have any problem finding people to fill up the screen. So, yeah, anything that you can do to involve the fans, especially in a time like this, I'll support it.
So how I think they should also add it. So because I think one of the problems that Vince has is that he pays attention to the crowd and how they react, right? That's how he comes up with his storylines, etc. However, there's been no crowds. All he knows is that people aren't liking it. So it's hard for him to gauge what's working with the fans, what's not. That's what made Vince as good as he is when it comes to that. However, when you're in the Thunderdome, like, or the whatever it is, when you're on the screen, what is it called, Sarah?
I think it's just the Thunderdome audience. I don't think there's really any specific name.
So what you can do is give them 3 buttons. Either like not obviously just like enter or whatever, boo, cheer, or chant. Give that 3, and then that's how you can get a crowd reaction.
Mm.
And that way you'd be able to see, and that way you'd also be able to control the sound of what's really actually working.
What about the trolls, though? What if you
They're
end
gonna
up
be trolls no matter what, though. I think that ultimately, like, okay, they wouldn't control. It'll go into a feed, and then whoever's in the backstage is pushing it.
right?
But it'd give them some type of idea of what people are actually liking.
Mm-hmm. So before we sign off here, I definitely want to congratulate us on hitting 500 likes this morning on BuckleBomb Entertainment on Facebook. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, Christmas. Thanks, y'all.
Also want to point out we have till Thursday of next week at midnight to vote in the Blasties.
Vote.
The award show is going to be on our Tuesday discussion show, January 5th. So we'll be announcing the winners then live at 8 p.m.
And we're also going to rename all of our shows. We're actually going to name them.
Yeah, there's more coming. There's far more coming. I've made some. What?
I was saying you'll be seeing a schedule posted pretty soon of our daily, weekly shows, and so on and so forth. Yeah,
we're going to be doing stuff on Twitch. I got our stream going more, so we'll be live there a lot. It's going to be a ton of fun. Are we pointing up to DMC Grizzle?
No, I'm saying he'll be live a lot.
No, you're coming with.
Oh, okay.
You're coming with. It's going to be fun. We're going to play some games.
We got some trivia games coming up next year.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. Everybody go get it. It's an awesome game. And not just because you can play with their genitals.
I like that was the first thing that you told me about the game. It's anatomically correct.
I thought it was weird. Because the first thing that they have you do is customize your character. And you just keep going down, and I was like, oh. Well, that's interesting. I've never done that in a game.
So much detail.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, so don't forget to check us out on Twitter at BuckleBombENT. You can find me on Twitter at HTC_Sarah G and W, BuckleBombEntertainment.com. All your audio podcasts, including Apple and Spotify.
Yeah, we need those likes on the social media, and we need that engagement. We need you to tell us what you like. We already got one request for a watch along of a 93 episode of WWF Superstars, so we're going to be working on that here pretty soon. I actually already watched the episode. It's very interesting. It's kind of like the original AEW Dark, so it's cool to see people get pushes and people win matches and see. I think there's a match with Mr. Perfect in this one. It's pretty good.
How long is it?
It's 45 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
If you
short.
want to request any watch alongs that we can host, make sure it's on YouTube. I believe it's the only way really we can host the watch along, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we can show you our reactions. We just can't have any volume or any of the actual video footage. Unfortunately, I know that some of the other channels have a way where they put like half of it in the screen or something like that, and but we don't want to mess with all that, and we don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble. So if it's a YouTube show, we're able to show anything free. We're able to show up, and we're not able to do anything off of a paid subscription site. But we can definitely tell you what we think and do our own commentary during it. And you can watch along with us and drop your own comments, however you want to do it. But we do take requests.
I think that's all we got today. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Brian,
Yes.
you want to share your socials?
Daniel?
Wait, what? What are we doing?
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Brian Bella, BBE.
DMC Grizzle. You know who it is. It's your boy. Come play on Twitch with me later. I know it sounds weird, but come play games on Twitch. It's going to be a lot of fun. DMC Grizzle. I got all the Jackbox games. We got Fibbage, Quiplash, all the good stuff. TKO we played the other night. It was a lot of fun.
Have a good night, everyone.